hard to believe, but Hog football practice starts in just 12 days. Now, until then, players will continue to get acclimated to the heat, while coaches like Alex Wood will finish up their summer speaking engagements. Now, he has at least one more on the schedule set for tonight at the Stevens Center on the UALR campus. The quarterback's coach has pretty much flown under the radar this offseason because of the hiring of Gus Malzahn, but we're going to hear from him tonight in an extensive report from Miss Keely Fulton. As for the guys he's responsible for, Casey Dick, Mitch Mustang, and Robert Johnson are getting set to compete for the starting job. Houston Nutt says it's wide open, so we asked our recruiting analysts, Trey, Biddy, and Otis Kirk, for their opinion.
Well, I think Casey Dick will start the first game if he's healthy, and depending on how he plays, I do think what they're going to do is they're going to play Casey Dick, and I think Mitch Mustang will play some, and I think that load may increase as the season goes along, but I think Casey Dick will start. By the end of the season, Mitch might be starting. That will depend on who does well, but I think you could see not so much the running and passing like they have with Matt Jones and Zach Clark, but you may see the two-headed quarterback again with Casey Dick and Mitch Mustang, at least early.
Trey, any chance Robert Johnson sees playing time this year?
Well, I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten about Robert Johnson. He's kind of the forgotten man. You know, he had a really good spring. He had the best spring out of anybody. Of course, they were both a little dinged up. We didn't really know as much about that, but you know, I think, you know, there's probably a good reason that nobody's really talking about Robert as much right now, and it's because, you know, Casey and Mitch are probably the most talented of that bunch. I'm kind of like Otis. I can't see Mitch Mustang redshirting. You know, I think he's at least going to play, and but it's hard to imagine him stepping in the first game against USC and taking the first snap as a true freshman. You don't see that very often, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this thing plays off, and you know, we're just a couple of weeks away.
Hey, whoever wins the job is